No. I'm trying to validate my existence, whether I enjoy it or not. In other words, if I was dirt poor, and I don't come from money or means. I couldn't even speak your language. I was beaten up on a routine basis for not being able to speak English well. And then I taught your children how to do it better in Spanish Harlem, 6th grade. The point I'm making, though, is that life is a privilege, not a birthright. Now what are you going to do with it? Whether you're poor and don't have anything, or whether you're rich and have all the world by the balls. And for the richest people in the world, including Bill Gates, who I admire, and Warren Buffett, those guys get to a point. You know what? Bill Gates said, I'm the richest man in the world, or the second richest, and I'm quitting my job, and now I'm going to get up every day and work even harder for charity, for foundations, and stuff like that. It is not the job that people want. It should be about the love of labor. There is a difference. People look at the clock because they don't enjoy the job. I enjoy the labor of it, but it's important to have labor. Even if you don't need the money, you should create work for yourself. If you don't move, your body will die.
Yeah,
you have to keep moving.
But what do you do for pleasure? What
I intend on fucking your girlfriend tonight. I don't know.
Hey,
whoa, hey.
Wait a minute now.
Well, I mean that as a term of endearment.
You actually probably just met her over at Channel 11.
Who? Oh, Jill.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm fucking with you. But the point I'm making...
All of a sudden he looked at me with a little more respect. I liked that.
I'm not at all concerned with respect. I really am not. Because when you're running a race, everybody's going to be... The idea is, are you going to finish and get there? And you're right. I will be doing a signing at Barnes & Noble tomorrow, starting 12:30 on 57th Street. Come on down, say hello, or hurl epitaphs or other big words like gymnasium.
57th and what, though? Is that the 5th Avenue one?
Barnes & Noble on 57th and 5th, I think.
Yeah. Gene, I want to jump in because you're saying some very interesting things here. First of all, I think you being an entrepreneur is what excites you and is exciting for you, right? I don't think it's about the money anymore. I'm sure you're the type of guy that has enough money to do whatever the fuck you want.
It's such a strange, but it's such a strange word. It's such a strange phrase.
Right, but it's more...
You have enough money. What does that mean?
Well, whatever, but it's more about the game and what else you could accomplish. I think people do get caught up in the fact, like, wow, Gene's just trying to make, more money. How much fucking money? Yeah, but it's more than that.
It's your game.
You're trying to figure out what else can I do with me, Gene Simmons. And the other thing, I'm finally learning something about this guy. I think that why a lot of people are pissed off is they just want you to be Gene Simmons, the rock star, which a lot of these bands are.
Rock stars are idiots.
All right.
They're morons.
But that's where the dilemma is, because you always want it to be more than the...
But that's their problem, not mine.
Than the rock star that is Gene Simmons.
But rock stars are hardly the things you should be worshiping, because they play guitar.
But you know what?
And once the guitar goes down, they're morons. They're not well-read.
I understand that, but the point I'm making is you were never satisfied with just being Gene Simmons from Kiss. Not that would be a just.
I know you find this hard, Gene. I think he's trying to compliment you.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
I'm starting to finally figure it out, and I'm starting to realize why people have a problem with you, because you want to be... Part of you wants to be like the next Bill Gates or a Warren Buffett or whatever. Okay. But there's a lot of people like, hey, man, fuck, you're just Gene Simmons to me, and I want you to sign my Kiss shit.
I don't want to just be anything.
I understand that now.
Because I can't define my life by the way somebody who doesn't have a big vision or big ambition wants to.
Right. Is there any other rock guys that are like you, as far as similar to you in the way you think? Would you put anyone in the same genre? I know you would say you're better than that.
I think Weird Al Yankovic.
I will tell you.
Like, who's a really good businessman outside his band or outside rock and roll?
Outside his band. Well,
that is trying to do other stuff.
Rappers have done a better job than the Pale guys because they've branded themselves off. Diddy's done very well with his clothing and some of the TV stuff, and he's got this booze, the vodka stuff, so he's done well. Although he doesn't have great people skills and doesn't speak English very well, in the accepted sense of corporate speak. And yet he surrounds himself with the right people, and I know him well enough, and a very terrific guy, but obviously he doesn't have the gift of gab in the way that the Carters of power accept it. It's street patois.
Yeah.
But he's bright and understands that what's up isn't the entire world, and that you can take the what's upness of stuff and apply it to mass media, which is why his clothing line is not what's up or yeah baby or whatever that's called. It's Sean, right? Sean John. So it's much more applicable to the people who want to buy it. And I would have no problem wearing Sean John. I don't want to wear What's Up clothing.
No, I wouldn't buy anything from the What's Up line myself.
There are people who would, and that's okay, and that's what makes America great. You can buy. I'll buy Sean John. Sounds right. I'd like that. The white guys are idiots. The guys who are very bright, by the way, tend to be the British guys. Bono's very bright, very well read. And his interests lie more in humanitarian and sort of charitable, and that's terrific. He tried his hand at some sort of entrepreneurial stuff, mixed results, okay. And, you know, the big guys, McCartney and Jagger and stuff like that, just have never been interested. They just want to go out, tour, do that stuff. That's great. Right. Not enough for me. My mind works all the time. It's not enough to go, what's the next song?
I finally get it. I got to be honest. I finally get it.
Well, it was brought out from my fantastic interviewing
I think it might
skills,
have been, sure.
Opie, and
I decided to stop goofing and maybe learn something today. So.
Goofing I think is okay. It really is. But
no, a light finally went off in my head.
But why is it when I've always been the same guy?
I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I think you want to be extremely successful. That has nothing to do with Kiss. Would be an amazing goal for you to accomplish at this point in your life.
But then never stop.
Right.
It is the hunt. It is not the kill.
Right. Every new success in your life.
Then you do something
that's an
else.
accomplishment.
I speak a few languages. Now I want to learn to speak Mandarin.
Really?
How many languages?
Yeah, that's very tough.
4 to 5.
See, that's a waste of time.
Really?
Me goofing again.
I was going to say, and how do you validate that? No, Mandarin is a good
What
language.
languages? I'll be the
It's the
judge.
language of the orange.
No, what languages do you know?
Hebrew,
That's a good one, right? English,
Hungarian,
a little waste of a time.
possibly.
I mean,
German.
You don't run into
German's handy.
German's good. Just
German's
understand
good.
the
It's the
porn.
business.
Yeah, they're porno.
Yeah.
And every few years when they try to take over the world, it comes in handy.
The last century was not good for Germans.
No.
And a little Japanese, just enough to get by.
I think
Really?
Japanese is important. Hungarian is the one you could,
No longer.
You could get that space out of your brain.
You're like an anime character in Japan, I bet. They just look at you like,
Franz Joseph was head of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Hungarian was important. But that was only in the 1883, 1884. But then it became subjugated by the Austrians, Österreich, von der Deutsch, habe gelernt auf der Schule.
Do you like Japan?
annexed. Those wonderful people
I'm sure
in
you've been
Germany.
there.
They
absolutely have owned
separated
it.
at Viduna.
No, they should have owned it.
Yeah.
They should have owned it. Nice.
Yes.
All the Hungarians, please call in now.
I'm a fan of Germany.
Japan is a fascinating country.
I'm fascinated with Japan. I want to go.
Well, they 80 years ago, they had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They have no natural resources, and yet they went toe-to-toe against America and beat America's pants off economically around the world.
Right.
And have about half the population, and that's because they don't do... This is our permissive society. They came out from the Dark Ages. Remember, they stopped wearing kimonos only around the 1920s, and within a few years actually challenged America toe-to-toe, industrially, militarily, and otherwise. And additionally, is the place outside of America where most inventions are invented. America invented flight, the light bulb, turning darkness into light, television, and all the other stuff, the internet. But Japan, the robotics, the high-end stuff is all Japanese, and it's good to know Japanese. But you better learn quote Chinese.
They certainly should thank us for the Reconstruction after the war. Then
no, they
certainly should.
Their revisionists won't happen. They won't even. They won't even confess to how
because we could have left them destitute and still trying to rebuild. But we went in there, and I don't know why we do this. Had to help them out. let's blow them up and then build it back up so they could fuck us over later on.
Yeah.